right, here we are. We are live. How is everyone doing? Ugh. So yeah, this has been a very exciting hour trying to get onto the show. Between me not being able to get audio and just a bunch of other shit. It's been entertaining. It's insane. So much fun. Alrighty. So here we are. We're missing one overdrip. He should be on soon. But until then, we'll just keep you guys entertained. How's everybody doing? I know we're like a mixing show and all that, but what's everybody vaping on? And if you do have mixes, what have you been mixing? Speaking of which, let's jump into this. Sifu, what have you been mixing?
I did a couple of new variations of Jesus cookie,
Mm-hmm.
and the miso honey has gone straight into hard development. So I sketched out some more Jesus cookies, but I haven't put them in a bottle yet. I'm on version 3 of the miso honey, and it's going well. I'm very, very happy with where this is going. So very happy with that. And also, I'm on my second version of the lemon cookie. So, frosted lemon cookie. So
Nice.
I am in full on development mode. I need to get more nitrous in because the nitrous is amazing. And it's been a very, very good flavor reference device, So it's kind of like I'm getting the flavor from like a dual coil, but it's not as restrictive as the Karma and the Citadel. So it's a little closer representation of like where I would want it to be, for a dripping experience. So excited about that. Other than that, I haven't mixed too much. A few orders, a few sprinkles, some fun trades happened, and yeah, that's about it. So just you know, adventures. Just had meetings through lunch today. Didn't make it to the post office, and I can't help myself. I have to call it. I have to message the people and apologize. I was like, hey, I know I said I would. You've been having tracking since Sunday, but Martin Luther King Day, and then I didn't make it to the post office on Tuesday. I'm real sorry. I just can't help myself. So sorry
Yeah.
about that. Sorry that there was a holiday, and sorry I had to work through lunch. So.
I don't know,
So
man.
anyway,
It's
that's
very.
that's more or less what I had done. Um, just playing with vape gear also has been fun. I kind of tore some things up, moved some things around, made some fun stuff happen. I got a squy, and I have a Cthulhu box and a vessel
Did you
that's gonna
say a
get
Chatulo?
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Am I saying it wrong? I'm Cajun. We don't have this god here. Uh,
Oh
we don't
boy.
have that god here. Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool little very surprised with how nice this is, and it's tiny.
It
Tiny
looks
little
like the
guy.
.aio.
It's just a tad bigger. Clicky button, and actually pretty solid. It feels a little more solid than the dot,
There's Chris.
in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. So excited to build this. Very appreciative to the folks that sent it over to me, and I'm going to like it. I think it's going to be a good work device. I'm going to put my tobacco in it. So yeah, there we go. That's what I had done. How about you, Tribal Buddha?
Okay, well, I mixed absolutely nothing this weekend
That's what I'm
because
talking
I
about.
lost my heat for the entire weekend. And at 12 degrees outside and 50 degrees in the house, VG doesn't work very well. It's quite sloppy, quite slow, and I just wasn't messing with it. So this weekend ended up not being anything mixed. I did write down two recipes I want to try that I'm going to sit down and start working on this week. Um, but I didn't really physically mix anything. I'm still pushing through these two that I had done last week, the cornbread pudding and the blueberry yogurt. So they're working out quite well. I'm thinking about where I want to tweak them, but they're they're coming along well. I'm happy with them. So that's always a good thing. But that's pretty much where I sat at because I didn't get to do much this weekend. So how about you, Jay?
Oh no, Overdrip, you ready to talk, or you still getting set up over there?
No, like there's no point in waiting for me to get set up because I'm clearly not going to be ready.
Fair enough.
Honestly, no, I didn't do any mixing. My life's been kind of just like hectic lately, so I've just kind of been surviving, and I feel like I'm accomplishing things by surviving. So yeah, like it hasn't been on the forefront of my mind. It doesn't mean that I don't want it to be. So hopefully sometime soon you're gonna hear like this wealth, just this huge fucking weight lifted off of
Outpouring.
me because I'm just like killing life in every aspect that I have the ability to mix. So yeah, like that it's been hectic for me. So simply put, I just haven't really had the time or the energy to mix. So unfortunately, that's all I have to bring for that aspect. I don't have like a story like Steve. Although today I have a story, but not for why I haven't mixed previous to today.
Fair enough. All right, yeah. As far as mixing for myself, same goes. I was on vacation last week, and for the most part, I took full advantage of not doing a damn fucking thing. It was kind of nice. Did a lot of gaming, which I forgot how much I enjoy that. Even my wife's all like, "You've been at that game for 13 hours. That's insane." I was like, "I know, right? It's the longest I've sat just playing a game for like all day." It was like 3 in the morning. It's like, yeah, I should go to bed.
Some of my favorite times.
Yeah, finally hit that point where I think it's time to go to bed.
I'm not even tired. I just know I should go to bed. Oh man. Alrighty. So that's it. I don't know. On Sifu's point earlier, and because like honestly, I agree with Pam fully. Be kind to folks like us, because in reality, as you can see, we all have like our day to day and shit like that. So be kind. I know sometimes you just want like that instant gratification, but beyond that, like I mean, we have day jobs, we have, or as like for me, night jobs, and we have families and things that need to be taken care of, and we'll take care of you. And as long as communication is still free and open, there shouldn't be much of an issue. But like just tearing into somebody just because your juice isn't out after like a day or two, it's very just un minuto. But that's it. Alrighty, let's do this. Let's hear from our sponsor, Shake and Bake Media, and we'll be right back. Yeah. All right, we're back. That is Shake and Bake Media. If you guys are needing any type of thing, like as far as like bumpers or packages for like live shows, or even like if you do pre-recorded stuff, I'm sure they are more than willing to help. Or
even if you
logo.
need like a gag photo for a friend's 40th birthday party,
exactly,
and you don't really know how to fucking edit shit, I'm pretty sure that they could pull that out for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you guys go check Anthony's Instagram, you could see all the work, because he does all the stuff for what is it, the Fallout and all that kind of stuff. So, and he does some really funny thumbnails for that. And I mean, with when I was doing vaping with the Omis, they did most of our thumbnails, and they were hilarious. I still love that we were Avengers Civil War. That was awesome. We did that here, and we did an Avengers one for vaping with the Omi. So, if you need something fun, they'll work with you. Alrighty, so let's get into some mixing. I'm gonna have to do something on the fly here because damn computer. Screw it. I'm just not even gonna do it. I was gonna do something fun, but it's not gonna work. Alrighty, so let's just jump into this. As we left off last week, we are all trading off, and apparently we can't count, so the numbers were way off. And it doesn't work with a 4-person situation. We need like odd numbers apparently.
Yeah, too late in the day for me to remember my math.
I
use it all day at work, so
I made it as far as pre-cal, and then in 2 weeks into pre-cal they kicked me out because I was too stupid for it. Literally, they told me I couldn't do it anymore.
You can't do math. Just go home.
Yeah. No, yeah, they kicked me out of that class, and they gave me another elective because other than that, I really didn't need anything. Like most of my day in my senior year in California, it was nothing but electives. It was ridiculous. So what? Let me see. Who wants to start off first here?
I can go first. Okay, so am I describing what Sifu's making? I
Yes.
think that's what makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking at Sifu's stuff, his stash, if you will. And there was one thing that I have wanted for a really long time. So I decided to like build a recipe that involved it. So I wanted to make like, I really wish that he had fucking crumble topping, but he doesn't have it. So I had to like work around that and try to get to a different spot. So I decided that I was gonna try to make like a raspberry, kind of like strudely Danishy cakey thing, right? Yeah. Because if you get like a raspberry strudel, like it has pastry elements, but it's also cakey. It has like that crumble topping on it, that's why I was kind of hoping it had it. And I also don't even know if raspberry syrup is going to work in this recipe, but
Don't work.
the one thing that I know is that I've been told that it's like a phenomenal raspberry. So what the recipe that I made up for Sifu, it has no name yet. I haven't published it yet. I just kind of like jotted it down in my notepad and then sent a screenshot to our group chat. So I'll have to get that up after the show. But it's starting off with raspberry syrup from SSA at 2%. Wow from Flavor Art at 1.5%. Zapola from Flavor Art at 2%. Creamy sponge cake at 2%. Deep fried pastry dough at 0.75%. Pastry zest from Flavora, which I've never tried, and I just wanted to put it in there, even though I'm not sure if 0.25% is going to be enough, but it seemed like if I put in 1%, it'd be too much. So I went with the 0.25, and then super sweet at 0.5%. So I'm hoping that Sifu gets something that's kind of like that raspberry strudel vibe. And that's why I went with that. Because like I said, I really want raspberry syrup from SSA, so I decided that I was going to make a recipe that Sifu had to use it. Because like this is the kind of recipe that I would probably make for myself, although I probably would have not put in creamy sponge cake, and I probably would have put in like cinnamon pastry from Wonder Flavors, but at the same time, we'll see how it goes.
Sounds fun.
Awesome.
Fun.
So Sifu, you might as well just say what I'm making.
Right.
And then the two of them can work
All
off
right.
that.
So I did something that I'm calling over gooey. And he had some concentrates that I've had my eye on for actually a long time. Like, so I've had them in cart, and then I go for a read order, and then it's like, oh, well, I got to stock up on my usual stuff, and then I drop some of these off. So these are some stuff that have been in my cart for a while that I keep taking out and just haven't quite got to yet. So I am starting off with almond custard from Wonder Flavors at 2%, butter toffee from Flavor West at 1.5%. That's one that's been on the list. Butterscotch from Flavor Art at 0.5%. crispy wafer from Wonder Flavors at 1%. The Glamour chocolate, 2.5%. Graham cracker from the Real Flavors, which has been on my list at 0.5%. Maple syrup has been on my list from Flavor Art at 1%. And marshmallow gooey from Wonder Flavors at 1%, and 0.5% of super sweet. So I'm hoping this is just one of those nasty grandma things that, just kind of just puts a whole bunch of creamy mess into a casserole pan and puts it in the ice box, and it comes out nice and set, and just a kind of a messy, filthy type of dessert with a little graham cracker and chocolate, So I figured that would be something that he would enjoy, and gratuitous on my part. I want to see how these things work together. So, because I want these concentrates. So there you go. Over gooey, and that has been released. So you can just click on it from your favorites, and then just go from there.
I like that place, Sifu.
All right. You want to go next, Steve, or you want me to go?
Sure, I'll go. All right. So, like I've said, I've been on this drink kick, but most of the stuff I've been doing has been, some kind of e-juice that goes along with an alcoholic beverage. I happen to have a lot of them, the concentrates for it. Going through almost 500 concentrates that Jay has.
It's a little overwhelming going through Chris's.
I went through 7 different ideas before I could finally settle on one that I could actually do something that I thought would be good.
Yeah.
So I went with a cactus wild berry smoothie.
Which I'm excited about this.
I have made this smoothie in real life, but it's been cactus wild blueberry. You didn't have a wild blueberry or a bilberry, so I went with wild berry. So this one's going to be colada from TPA at 0.5%. That's to give you that little chilling effect, but not make it menthol. Blueberry extra TPA is 0.5%. Cactus from Inawera at 1.5%.
Yep.
Cream fresh from FA at 0.5%. Forest fruit from FA at 1%. A little bit of marshmallow from Flavora at 0.5%, and the smoothie base from Flavora at 0.75%. So hopefully this gels together nicely, and if nothing else, it becomes a good base to build off of.
Okay. You gave me a hard time over this, so I'm gonna give you a hard time over this. No sweetener, right?
No sweetener.
No sweetener. Okay.
No sweetener. That's what the marshmallow's for.
Okay. We'll see.
Smoothies aren't extra sweet.
Awesome. Alrighty. So lastly, the one I did for Steve, and yeah, I'm doing this on the fly right now. So if you're seeing like shit just flying around the screen, it's because of that. Let me see. I'm trying to set this up. All right. So yeah, looking through somebody else's like flavoring list is a daunting task. But not only that, and I think like Steve will agree with me on this, it's harder when somebody mixes in a completely different style, because I forgot that he's not a bakery guy and I am. And looking through my list, what do I have the most of?
Well, that was the comment you sent to me. You need a lot more bakery stuff.
Yeah, no, I know, but on mine it's like all bakery, dude. Like anything that has cake or donut or even like a fruit I know can mix really well with like a bakery. I'm like, I'm getting that. So that's what made this a little bit more interesting. All right, so for Steve's, I don't know why I wanted to torture him trying to do another eclair. But so on this one we went with biscotti from Flavora at a 0.25%, bourbon from Wonder Flavors at half a percent, custard from Inawera at 1%, Glamour chocolate from Mullenberry at 1.25, some super sweet at 0.25%, sweet dough from Flavora at 0.5%, which I'm interested on that one. I don't think I have that one. I've never I might have to try and get that one. Then I have vanilla bourbon from TFA at 0.5%. We'll see how he likes it. Hopefully he
See, the
does.
funny part was that sweet dough,
Mm-hmm.
I had just gotten it in this afternoon.
Okay, so you don't even know what
That
it's
was
like.
one of those. I did a knuckle test. It's kind of bitter.
Really?
And that's what led me to look at it and say, wait a minute, there's no sweetener in here.
Yeah, fair enough. Another fun one is like the first time I completed your recipe and sent you, was about to send you a screenshot of it. I was like, oh shit, the nicotine's off, because I do 250 milligram nicotine.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so yeah, the numbers would have been way off because it uses a lot less.
Yeah, I would say so.
Uh-huh.
From 100 to 250, yeah, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, it's quite different.
So yeah, I really like this challenge because, like you said, just looking at somebody else's stash,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you think like, okay, this is how I mix, but damn, how am I supposed to do this? And it puts you out of your comfort zone.
It does.
It makes you think in another. It makes you look at another path. It makes you think of something different. It makes you mull through some ideas and try to come up with something that maybe is not necessarily your path.
Mm-hmm.
So I dig it.
Should be interesting.
And at least because, you named mine just Steve's mix. I didn't know you were going for any Claire.
Yeah, like I said, I was like in the middle of like 8 different things. It was like,
But I will say, if this comes out pretty decent,
mm-hmm.
I can already see a few things that I have in my stash that'll bring it more to the chocolate eclair side.
Yeah, and that was like like you were saying, it's looking at somebody else's like list. Like with mine, I could literally just look at it and be like, okay, I can do this, this, and this. But looking at somebody else's, you're having to think in a completely different manner because it's not shit you're used to or things you know entirely. Because most of the stuff you have, I've never tried before. And I'm sure I can go into Sifu's and Overdrips and have
It'd be
the same
way,
issue.
yeah.
Yeah, because we all mix differently. And like, I mean, Sifu's got all the chef stuff and all the VSO stuff. I think Chris would be the easiest one for me personally.
Yeah,
Well, for me, it was kind of
both bakery nuts.
it was sensory overload because it was like he had so many of the bakery flavors that I've been wanting. So it was hard for me to kind of direct myself. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to go filthy, kind of this grandma's nasty.
Since you said that, did you guys use any particular technique to go through their list or anything? Or you just read through everything?
I did a quick glance over, and then after the fact, then I was like, okay, I want to base something around this. And then I was like, I wanted to make a raspberry bakery. Because like that's what I've been honestly really wanting is a raspberry bakery, but I don't have a raspberry that really does well in bakeries because I feel like all the raspberry shit I have is kind of just a little bit it's like instantly candy.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the raspberry stuff I have.
Well, you picked the right one. I'm not going to spoil it yet, but for me, I was rolling through, and all of a sudden the marshmallow gooey, it struck my eye. I was like, that has been on my want list for a long time, and then so I just started thinking marshmallow, and then the graham that I wanted to try, and then I wanted to try that maple syrup, and then I'm like, yeah, what else would go good? Like, okay, yeah, with the graham cracker, a little chocolate, and a little more stuff, and next thing I know, I got this thing that I'm like, man, I want to make this. So I'm going to end up getting these concentrates, So that's how I went about it. It just kind of, like what Chris said, as soon as I found that one concentrate that caught my eye, then it was like, I'm going to build around this marshmallow. I'm going to make this kind of sticky, kind of rich kind of thing,
That's what I did. I took a glance through it, and there's a hell of a lot to glance through. So I went up. I went down.
Man, I started scrolling. I was
down.
like, is this ever gonna end?
So I had something in mind. No, couldn't do that. Another thing in mind. No, couldn't do that. Another thing in mind. No, couldn't do that. Another thing. I went through it 7 times until I finally recognize the smoothie base that he had. And when I saw smoothie base, I said, there we go. I can make a drink with a smoothie base. And now I just got to figure out something that I know the flavor of because I'm not making this, that I
Yeah.
know how it's supposed to taste. So I went off of that. And luckily, he had cactus from Inawera. That's the best cactus
Oh yeah,
by
it's a good
far.
one.
I have a couple of them, but that one seems to be the best one.
Yeah. As far as for me, I actually feel like I cheated at this point because you guys actually
Put some thought into it.
no, you guys actually went through everything. Because I looked at your list and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just look at like certain brands, and since if you know the shorthand on the brands,
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
type that in, and I was like
yeah, and
looking
it'll
through the
come up.
brands until
Yeah,
some caught my eye, like the rest of you, and I was like, okay, then maybe I could do this, and then I started just jumping around until I found like stuff that I would see something out of. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I cheated in that sense.
I don't know if that's necessarily a cheating thing because honestly, dude, like once
that's
I
the
realized
smart way
that
to
he
do
didn't
it.
have the cinnamon pastry, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to like make this part myself.
Yeah.
Well, you went around it in a very awesome way. For me, because I'm tasting it now, and I guess I might as well go ahead and start talking about it.
Yeah. If you're ready to
Because
talk about it, dude.
because this is phenomenal. This is really, really, really good. Okay, so I am cinnamon averse, so I typically do not like cinnamon in places.
Mm-hmm.
But what combining the wow and the pastry zest, that little bit of citrus and zestiness is mixing so good with this wow, and it's like it's spicy, but it's not like cinnamon spicy. It's just just like a dusting
Mm-hmm.
that would be maybe in the dough portion, like if you mixed a little cinnamon into your dough mix. And I thought maybe this creamy sponge cake would be a little off-putting, but it's just cakey enough with the pastry dough where it feels like it's a fried thing. And because I've tried to deep fry pastry dough before with wow, I've tried those two together, and whenever I tried to do the beignet mix, and it was missing something. And I think the creamy sponge cake is what it was missing. It gives it a denseness that is just what you want from like a fried donut. So, but it's not a donut mix, which is strange. I thought it would go on the donut side. And the raspberry syrup is perfect in this. Perfect. I think it's the citrus part of the pastry zest is kind of highlighting the raspberry syrup. And I think it's been a missing component in making that bright fruit mix in something with a pastry, or it's singing right through. Like everything is just perfectly balanced. Like I'm super impressed with this mix. This is very, very, very tasty. Right off the shake. Like this is baller mix. Like just get the stuff that you're missing over drip and taste it, because this is.
I actually think that I'm only missing the raspberry syrup. I don't have the creamy sponge cake.
So I will buy it and send it to you. Because
Wow,
I think it's the
that's how
one you're
much he
missing,
likes it.
because it is. I've tried raspberry in mixes before. Like even last week or the week before, I did that cheesecake from the simple mixes when we did our beginners stuff. I did a raspberry cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little vague in that mix.
Yeah.
Just the combination of the wow and the zest has really like put it right at home with this combination here. It's outstanding. Like it's really simple. It's only 8.5%, and it's just perfect sweetness. Perfect. It's good. It's really, 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 really good. I'm interested to see if it gets richer, like, because its mouthfeel off the shake is good. So, good. It's good.
Yep, I know what I'm doing. You guys heard it here first. I know what's up.
Oh yeah, because the success of your e-liquid line doesn't say shit.
Well, this is just furthering. This is me just hammering that fucking nail in, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, so you were looking for like kind of a Danishy kind of thing, or just a
Okay, you
pastry?
know, like when I'm assuming that you guys would have these, right? But like, you can go to the grocery store. They'll have like these, and they call them strudels, and they're basically just like this, like pastry
Yes.
cakey mix, and then there'll be like the raspberry, and it'll kind of be overlaid, and then there's like the
Yes.
crumble topping on top with also a little bit of like maybe like a little bit of actually like white icing.
Hmm.
But I was honestly I was pressed for time, so like me trying to figure out how to make a white icing was not going to happen right then. Um, I probably could have figured it out with like some powdered sugar and maybe like a sweet cream or something, but I just wanted it to be simple and not get too crazy. So hopefully, like you understand what I was going
Yeah,
for.
no, this like
Because if you had a
I
crumble
think me
topping, I
not
would have.
having the crumble was advantageous for this because it might have been a little too much because everything is just perfectly placed. Everything just works really, really good together. So yeah, like it's like, man, this combination of flavors is sitting in my cat.
Yeah, like you could have came up with that, bro. It just took me, Canadian Jesus, apparently.
Oh
Thanks,
man,
Tim, for that moniker.
Here
dude,
we
he
go.
was so shocked by it that he froze. Um, I don't know. On
Yeah.
mine, I'm even looking back through the recipe just because, like, while I was mixing it, I was getting like this really hard stank, like a good like cheese stank, and I think it was the crema, the cream fresh or the pena fresca. I gave it that, and I kind of want to either add vodka or yogurt to this. I don't know which way to go with it, but it feels like that would just complete this a little bit. But otherwise, it's pretty damn good.
Probably the yogurt, the Greek yogurt,
Yeah.
or sweet yogurt.
Hmm.
Probably sweet yogurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get it because I have a Greek yogurt, but I'm gonna have to just get like an actual yogurt. Yogurt. I'm gonna have to ask you guys for some suggestions on what to get here
There's
soon.
a flavor art yogurt. It's good. I think
Yeah.
it's called like flavor art yogurt old, maybe.
Hmm.
Don't quote me on that.
Well, I've done. When I do my yogurts, I actually have made my own stone for it.
Hmm.
So I use Greek yogurt, sweet yogurt, and regular yogurt from
Okay.
add the three of them together. Gives you that creamy, smooth yogurt type.
Hmm. But no, this actually this like as a smoothie, it's not bad, but I think it would make for like a great yogurt. Like I don't know, feel like that would make really good. But I think it's just that creme fraiche really adds like a weird stink to it. That it's good, but it's just
Yeah,
it throws it off.
and that yogurt base takes a minute to come up.
Hmm.
Or
Jesus.
that's yeah, that yogurt base. What was the base? Smoothie base.
Sorbet base.
Yeah, the
Johnny?
smoothie base does take a while to come up.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to give it some time then.
All
Yeah,
right, I'll be right
I
back,
know that.
guys.
Yeah, I think I was saying like I don't think I was so close to having something like this. So I've already paired the wow, the zest, and the deep fried pastry dough. It's just I was only thinking in those terms. I didn't think like a cake would help build the density that I'm getting right now. So
Hmm.
it 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 works good. Yeah, that's what I was saying before I cut out.
Yeah, you're good.
So I was like, I've had those three flavors together, but I was just missing one thing, and it was the creamy sponge cake, which is a new flavor for me. I've just had it for the last
Last month or so. I just want to finish that for him. It was like it was bothering me.
It was bothering
hanging
you.
out there in the ether because I know that he'd already said it. You're back. You're back. You're back. You're back. I finished your sentence, Sifu. That's how connected we are.
He finishes your sandwiches.
Yeah, everything was going so well, and then all of a sudden it goes.
Kaputski.
I'm guessing that like you got a few boys that might be robbing your signal a little bit.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
I was gonna say, My mix offended Steve so much he had to leave for a bit.
No. It's
He
had an emergency
he had to go
call.
throw up and rinse his mouth out. Then.
Yeah, he's like, this is fucking nasty.
Well, you're, you're not far off.
It didn't come out good.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I struggled with it, so
it's
all good.
heavy. It's heavy on the biscotti.
Is it? Yeah, that one was a weird
Um,
one. I've never tried the biscotti, so I didn't even know where to go with that. And I was just trying to get some doughiness
That
in
and the
there.
bitterness of the sweet dough.
Mhm.
But it's going to take a little bit for some of this to come through.
Mm.
I think it's going to be. I mean, on the knuckle, it tasted close
Really?
to an Italian eclair.
Ooh. Okay,
But
shit.
vaping it, it's nowhere near.
Yeah, so it might
So
just take some
it
steeping.
might steep out. I'm thinking this is going to take at least 5 days.
Oh,
steep.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one's.
Well, okay, that makes me feel better because, like I said, I had no idea what the hell I was doing with your mix.
Yeah, I think this one's going to take a little while to steep. And I might have to add more custard
Do it.
for a
Yeah.
little more creaminess.
Yeah, and I mean,
I
okay,
might throw
I'll be
custard
honest.
extra into it.
Yeah,
Just
like
like-
I didn't want to like overload it just in case, but I don't. I'm weird because when I mix, I like to leave room for growth versus the opposite.
Well, absolutely.
Mhm.
That's how you build.
Yeah.
You get
So,
a good
hey-
base and build off of it. So
Hey, I didn't do too bad with like not knowing what the hell I was doing at your stuff.
look, I'll know in 3 days if it's going to start coming together.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely update on it because I like the path of it. Like I said, the knuckle, I got what you were going for.
Nice. Nice.
So off the knuckle, I got that Italian chocolate eclair. So
Hmm.
we'll see. See where it
Dude,
goes with that.
That's exciting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like stoked over here because
So I'm hoping it steeps up well too. Because
Yeah.
I like chocolate eclairs, so it's not something I've attempted yet. So
hmm
if it's something I can build off of, or even that you can build off of, if it comes together, it'd be nice.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get some of these, but because I seriously, it's still funny that I have so many flavors yet I can't make about probably 80% of what you guys mix, and it makes me sad to.
Yeah, and it's weird too because if you think about it, right, like a lot of the stuff that I would think that I would have that you would have, but it turns out that that's not really true. I mean,
No.
the one
Holy
thing
crap,
that is
Mr.
different,
Green is here.
the one thing that's probably different is the fact that there's some flavor houses that I've really overloaded on.
Same here.
That you don't really have. So
Favor?
like real flavors, I have like 30 real flavors, and like I don't think that a lot of people have many. I have like probably 70 flavor art flavors, like 60 plus for sure. So yeah, I don't know, but you know what I'm gonna speak about. First of all, this mod's getting warm, so I need to just put it down. So of Sifu's mix, okay, it knuckles really weird, okay, because the buttered toffee, I'm not a fan of it. Okay, when I first saw that he put that in here, I was like, oh no, this is not good for me. It smells like throw up. Okay, now
It's like my mascarpone cream cheese.
no, that to me smells funky, right?
Yeah.
That does not smell like throw up. This smells like throw up. Now, I can taste it in the mix. It doesn't taste like throw up. So that's good. I think that when I first started mixing, I used it and I probably was like throwing it in at like 3% and it was too much. And it kind of did taste a little bit like throw up. But right now, on like a scale of 1 to 10, do I like it? I would put out like a 6 because I think that there's some potential in it. I really am digging. Apparently, this was the first time I ever tried the marshmallow gooey. So thank you, Sifu, because it tastes good. I get a nice like cinnamoniness from the graham cracker. I find that the real flavors graham cracker is definitely like more cinnamony. It's more like the graham cracker V2 from Capella, how it's got like that cinnamony note. This is kind of like that same thing, but it's like a little sharper of a cinnamon note as opposed to like in the graham cracker V2. I find it's like more of like that bakery-ish.
Yes, that's what. Well, I guess I was hoping that was that was what I had wanted, like a softer note with the graham cracker. It was
Yeah,
just
so
not-
it's good, and I can taste it in there. Um, the butterscotch gets a little bit lost, but I think that it's just really melding in with like the actual that butter toffee.
yeah, it
Um,
was a backer for the toffee. Yeah, so
yeah, like
I was
so
worried.
on
I
an
was worried about the
overall,
notes on the toffee. So
no, and like it's vaping fine. This is the thing, right? It's kind of like the toffee, the butterscotch, and the chocolate are kind of morphing into their own thing.
yeah,
Okay. So there's not really like a discernible difference between the three things. It's like the only reason why I know that I'm tasting the butter toffee is because I've been fucking scared of it, ultimately. Right. So like the fact that I'm scared of it means that I'm gonna probably notice it in this mix. Uh Overall though, like I said, I mean it's pretty solid. Like could I vape this whole bottle? Yeah, I could vape this whole bottle. Will it change? It could. I'm not entirely sure. um there's a couple of flavors that like I've barely used that are in this mix, like the graham cracker from Real Flavors. I've barely used the butter toffee. I've barely used the marshmallow gooey. I opened it today, so I've never used it. um and even the almond custard and crispy wafer, I think that I've only tried those once. So there's a bunch of stuff that I tried today that's new. I definitely get like a nice creaminess though from it, which must be coming from that almond custard.
we'd have to
uh
go.
and
Hmm.
it's nice. So like I'm wondering if in a day or two it starts to just be a little bit more of a slight bakery gooiness. You know what I mean? Um, like I think that. Well, I think honestly, ultimately, I think that I would drop the butter fucking toffee, but that's just because I think that's a bit weird. But I think that it's actually doing its job in here, and it's not making it too weird. I think that I just in my head I'm think that I'm tasting it more than I am.
You have a Heath bar, a Heath flavor, right? Like kind of a like a
What's a
Heath
Heath
bar,
bar?
like a
Candy
chocolate
bar.
toffee,
It's a chocolate
English
toffee.
toffee.
Oh, is that like an Eat More? Do you guys have those?
Might be the same thing, and you just
It
call
might
it
be the
something
same
different.
thing. Yeah.
It's like this like there's like chunks of peanuts throughout like this
Hmm.
Nah,
toffee.
Heath bar is just it's a English
Just
toffee coated with chocolate.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, no.
I
Oh,
was
okay.
hoping for
No, then I
something.
no, we don't have one of those.
Okay, so I was kind of hoping for more of that note. So maybe the butter toffee wasn't a good choice in this one because I was
No, but
kind of
it's
hoping
not
for
bad though.
something a
Like I
little.
said, it's honestly it's not really that bad. And the only reason why I'm saying I would maybe drop it is because I'm scared of it. But now that I'm vaping it now, like I don't know if like I'm gonna be looking for a mix to use it in,
Hmm,
but I think that it's working,
okay.
Dude, now I want a
right?
Heath bar.
Yeah,
I kind of
like
want to try a Heath bar because the closest thing that we have to that is like you can get these Macintosh like toffee bars
Do you
where
guys
it's
have
just like
a?
in this like cellophane wrapper and you eat it, and as you're eating it and you like chew on it, it's like you could pull out a tooth. Like if you had
mm,
a loose tooth, you'd chew on this.
mm,
It's like a Charleston chew, but like
Oh,
toffee.
yeah. Well, well, I'm stoked. I'm glad the gooiness is coming out because I was kind of hoping for kind of just
Okay.
something like
Hey,
that. But
Yeah, and like the
there's
Chris,
chocolate. You know what? Honestly, the more I vape it, the more I'm like, okay, I can get behind
do you
this.
guys have score bars up there?
Yeah.
oh, a
That's
score
what it
bar.
is. That's what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, good call.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
score bar.
okay.
It's the equivalent.
All right, so I was hoping that it was more like that kind of toffee. So I think that would have probably been a little more. Uh,
Well, you know what? Honestly, like it could be just the fact that it's mixing with the butterscotch
mm,
and the chocolate all to kind of together.
mhm.
Because like I do have a concentrate called Scorbits, which I could have used, and then there's that toffee and chocolate element. I mean, but overall, I'm not mad at it. I can vape it.
All right.
Does that mean that everybody's done?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we've all
All
talked.
right,
Yeah, I'll-
Sifu, talk about my mix again first. No, I'm just kidding.
Like seriously, like this is
Just pump my tires. No.
I mean it's probably one of the more successful mixes that tasted off a shake. You know, like the miso honey that I did is kind of giving me the same kind of feeling. Like that was successful right now. Like, and it has the potential to be even better. So this is very good.
Um. Steve, would you recommend me to up the culotta? Because I'm not tasting it, or should I just let it sit for a bit?
I,
I think the word on culotta is that if you're not getting it now, you're
not going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I went light on it
Yeah.
because I didn't know if it was going to be too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those adjust is. So if you drop another 0.25% in there, you'll probably be somewhere where you need it. I mean, it's suggested 0.75.
Yeah.
I don't usually do the suggested. I usually cut it back. So
Yeah, same here. All right. I mean, I'll
This
let
one,
it
it
sit
might
and
need it.
see how it goes. But yeah, because that part, like, it's there, but it's very, very faint.
yeah, I wasn't trying to go for an iced smoothie. So I only did the little bit. I didn't want it to be too overpowering. I didn't want somebody to think they were getting a menthol vape out of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
You know what I'm getting over drip? It's got the same vibe as your pear cream cheese Danish. Like it's got that same type of very light, cinnamony, flaky thing. So if you can imagine that with just a perfect raspberry instead of a pear. Not quite as heavy as pear cream cheese Danish, but it's got the same type of feeling.
Well, then I could vibe with it because I like PCCD a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And now I need that fucking concentrate even more.
Yeah, like
Dude, that's why I really need everything to be still chill with the borders so I can go to Steel Valley Vapors at the end of next month. So I can just order like $200 worth of shit from Bull City and just get all the flavors that I've wanted for so fucking long, but I'm too cheap to pay $50 shipping.
yeah, like take the raspberry out and put anything with this. That's where it's at. Like this is like the perfect type of little cinnamon pastry kind of thing. You know? So
yeah, dude, I bet you apricot would be good with that.
You know what, Jay? Thinking about this, I might split this 60 mil into 230s. I think I'm going to add my espresso and double dark
Ooh.
chocolate into this.
Dude.
I bet you're going to get a good coffee vape out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Be a good
I mean, I think it'll
what
be a
espresso?
rich dark roast. Which one do I have?
The flavor art one?
Might be.
I mean, they're
Let me
Italian.
check.
They know espresso.
He's just saying that because it's flavor art.
I'll let you
Yeah,
know
dude.
in a
Well, they
second.
know their gelato, bro. Sifu knows.
Oh no, I know.
Gelato's the fucking.
No, honestly,
Root.
flavor art is highly recommended from this entire show at this point, I think.
No, it's TFA.
TFA.
Oh, okay.
That one's a toss up.
Maybe you need to try the flavor art.
Like, I'll be honest, I have
Just throw 'em
like
out there.
TFA coffees are kind of iffy. They all tend
Well,
to
see,
go burn popcorn at a low ohmage.
That's the thing with that espresso. I always add the double chocolate dark
Mm-hmm.
to kind of defeat that.
Okay. Well, there you go. If you guys try TFA coffees, get some double dark.
So we'll see. might just
Also,
split it
Adam,
and do that.
I think that you're a fantastic human being. So if someone is coming at you for being Australian, I mean,
Just let me know. I'll hunt them down.
just let it be water
get
off
the
a duck's
pitchforks.
back, bro.
We're heading that direction.
Yeah, we're connected. Okay, not actually, but we are. Just remember that.
Sewer Rug, you're gonna get banned. Is what they're saying. And they all have admin powers. So.
Oh, I won't ban you, but I will. I will just stand up for Adam.
Yeah.
I'm also for pastry gooiness, by the way, Adam. I'm for it.
Yeah, I like just a. I don't even know what Grandma calls this. It's just Grandma's dessert. Like she just puts all of this butter and cream and chocolate mess into a pan, and it's just delicious. So,
Dude, I remember my mom. She used to make this thing, and it kind of falls into that category of like that kind of everything in a pan gooiness, and she would like put graham cracker crust on the bottom, and then there would be like marshmallows, and then there would be butterscotch chips, chocolate chips, and then she would pour that Eagle brand condensed milk over it, and then she would put a little bit of coconut on top, like, and then she would just bake it in the oven, just to the point where like the chocolate and like the butterscotch chips were starting to melt a little bit, and then it would come out. And dude, it like you couldn't eat more than like a 1 by 1 square inch fucking thing
Mm-hmm.
before like your teeth felt like they're gonna fall out. But it was delicious. So this makes me like, it kind of vibes on that same level with my taste buds, which makes me think, oh yeah, dude, like I could totally work with something like this and like morph it into something like that, especially because I'm kind of digging this marshmallow gooey.
Okay, so that's good. It's in the cart, so it's gonna get bought. It's gonna get bought.
It's going.
Well, I'm just thinking that I could like fold in a couple other marshmallows just to back it a little bit more,
Mm.
let it stand out a little bit more, right? Because there's a few marshmallows that I do like the Capella Silverline, the
Yeah,
whipped marshmallow,
yeah.
and then the
I like,
marshmallow from Flavor Art.
yeah, the TFA, or is it flavor? It's Flavor Art, right?
No, it's Flavor Art marshmallow. Well, I mean, there's probably a TFA marshmallow, but the Flavor Art marshmallow is good.
Flavor Art. Yeah, that's the one that I use a lot of. So that's the one that I pair with meringue. Flavor Art.
Meringue.
Yeah.
That's I have the Flavora one.
All
Oh,
right.
you're a baller. Okay.
So,
Okay.
game changers.
Okay, I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna give mine a 3.5. I think that it could turn into a 4. The one thing that's keeping it from being a 4 right now is just that a lot of it's kind of melding together, and it's with there's a good amount of concentrates. There's like 8 concentrates in here, and I was kind of hoping for a little bit more layering in there, and it's like I said, the butterscotch, the toffee, and the chocolate are kind of just meshing into one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is typically my
So
style, though. I kind of like to do that.
yeah, see, like it's weird because I appreciate a lot of people really like that. They do. But for me, I really like it when you can vape something and it's kind of a little different almost every time.
Hmm.
I'm like a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Now, like I appreciate that doesn't always translate well, because sometimes you can have a liquid that tastes really good in one setup, and then the next setup you're like, oh no, this is the letdown. But I kind of like that vibe, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of lets you have multiple experiences with the same flavor, um, without having to have multiple flavors. But ultimately, yes, I'll give it a 3.5 right now. If in a couple of days, a little bit, it settles in a little bit more, it could definitely hit a 4. So I'm between a 3.5 and a 4, but right now it's a 3. Game changers. Sifu, how about you?
I'm gonna give this a solid 4.5. Like it's damn near perfect. So I think I've already spoken enough about it. It's perfectly delightful.
According to
now,
Chris, you haven't spoken enough.
now, so now look, now
Keep coming,
sometimes, sometimes I've had this happen before too, where something off the shake is just perfect, and then 3 or 4 days later, something falls
Yeah, it
off.
fades out, or
Yeah, and it doesn't quite. It's quite not the same experience as you had it right off the bottle. So that could change a little bit, but right now, as it stands off this shake, it's damn near perfect.
nice.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go with a 3, solely because I'm hoping some of this fades out a little, and I'm hoping a few things step forward
Mm-hmm.
on a steep. But even with that, even now after vaping it for a little bit, knowing that I can add a couple other things to it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a nice strong coffee out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it makes a base. It makes a good base to go a bunch of different directions. It could be a base for tiramisu. It could be a base for all kinds of stuff that involve coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because there's not a shred of coffee in it,
Mm-hmm.
but I get that coffee vibe, and I'm a
I
black
feel
coffee drinker,
I feel the glamour chocolate kind of directs it that way a little bit.
probably, and it's heavy on the glamour chocolate, so
Mm-hmm.
which is good. I have no problem with that. I love coffee. I love coffee vapes. So for me, I just want to see where it goes steeping for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It might go up to a 4. You never know.
I will say get an Nanaimo bar. Since you already have glamour chocolate, if you haven't gotten it yet. Then as for mine, yeah, I'm gonna go with like 3.25. It has a lot of potential. I like the flavor. It's actually really good. Like I've been vaping it for a bit, and I like where it's going. But like I feel like that yogurt would just top it off completely, and it has like full on potential. We'll say like I'm not big on a menthol or anything like really heavy on that or the cooling, but the Culata is like a little like kind of hidden, and I know what you were going for, but I feel like maybe a little bit more. I don't know, just it's kind of a bit of a toss up, just because the cooling, like you said, you were going for more like a chill than like full on like just menthol, and I don't know, it just feels hidden. But then I don't know, maybe I'm just like shit for fucking menthol. I don't know. Because I've noticed that like I have an issue with just trying to do menthol vapes. You know,
Yeah,
Steve, you and I have talked about this endlessly.
yeah.
Yeah, so you know. Alrighty, so that was that. Let's do our goodbyes. Steve, you want to start us off?
Yeah. Everybody, thanks for coming out again. Um, we're gonna continue to try to come up with some different ways of approaching all this to make it even more fun. Um, remember, hit us up any of the discords or IG or anything that you have us on. If you got questions, if you mix yourself, if you want to know about a specific flavor we used, what we thought of it, whatever. We're always happy to answer. We're always happy to have a chat about it. It's the community. We're here for everybody. We're here for each other. That's what we want to do. It's not about selling our liquids or anything else. It's about the community mixing and everybody getting input from everybody and everybody helping everybody out.
We're just here to
Um,
teach people, honestly. At least that was my
yeah.
goal with doing this.
So, I mean, all of us are approachable, very approachable. The people I have interacted with on the platforms, they know I'm happy to help whenever I can. So, you know, just, you know, live long and strong and be good to each other, be good to everybody else, and just try to move on. Try to keep going and do what you can with yourself. That's all I got.
Who you want to pass it off to?
Sifu.
Yeah. How can I help you? Oh, thanks for everyone for coming out. It was a super fun show. Great idea. Just to kind of to delve into someone else's collection. It's like they have them for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes the reason is just, hey, I want to try this, but sometimes the reason is that I've done my research and I have it because it does something that I want it to do,
Mm-hmm.
and and it was also a cool challenge to do something with. It's kind of like whenever you get new flavors and you've never used them before, and then you try to make something, but you're actually trying to project that to someone else. So that's really fun and super fun job. So thank you all for coming out. You know where to find me, and I will help you with anything that you need if you need any help. So thank you guys. See you guys next week. Over drip.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm glad that we did this episode too, because it really does make me think differently. Although I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like if I had those concentrates, like I made that recipe for myself. I for like the one I made for Sifu, I made for myself because
Oh
I
yeah, no,
needed
I
to
was
know
totally
if like
selfish.
yeah, dude, like I needed to know if like that raspberry is gonna work in like a pastry, because like I don't want to say I got big plans, but like I've been searching for a raspberry that does well in bakeries. So many of the ones that I have, it's either like too light, it's too candy, it's just not there. or it's expensive and it's hard for me to get. So like I don't really want to chase after it. So the SSA raspberry syrup, I mean, shit, it's been talked about on this show for over a year, and I still don't have any. So
Yeah, I think
if given the opportunity to make a recipe with it, it had to happen.
Noted put it at one of its top recipes of the year when it came out. Top mix of flavors of the
Top
year.
concentrates? Oh,
Mm.
really? Okay. Well, then there you go. So that's dope. So I'm glad that we got to do that. I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Sifu, because you know it would have kind of sucked if I had this idea that you're like, oh yeah, you know, you executed that so poorly. So like I'm pleased about that. I do want to say one thing to the chat. First of all, thank you, chat. Appreciate you guys for being a part of it, and also Adam, the one thing I will say about these like espressos and coffee vapes, or concentrates rather, a lot of them are fucking weird, bro. So like I think that depending on what you're out, like what your goal, like what you're set out to do, really might dictate like actually how many options you have. You might have a lot less options if you're like saying I want this kind of vape. um because coffee is a really fucking weird one. I have like 6 different coffees, and there's only a couple that I think, all right, I can do something with this. And the other ones, I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I want to use a coffee the way that this coffee might need to be used. So it's just one of those ones. Um, if you guys want to check me out on Friday nights on the Frame Janko Vapor YouTube channel, it's the same time as this show on the Green Room. You can also check me out on the Shedtime podcast, which we would appreciate anybody listening to. Of course, it's not just vape centric. It's not just Shedtime centric. It's kind of a little bit of everything. We've done stuff from, you know, personal growth to just taking a look on our lives, to, you know, having memories like the episode that's going to come up this week. It's just us talking about like kind of when we were kids. So it's a little bit of everything. So don't think that, you know, if you listen to it, you're only going to hear about people that are just, you know, talking about cannabis all the time. It's not just that. So feel free to give us a follow over on SoundCloud. We do have a giveaway. We're super close to giving away on that. And then lastly, I will say, anybody that wants to try any of my e-liquids, you know, you can get stuff like this one right here, or, you know, one of the other flavors, including also, I do have all 3 of the Frankentones. So the the Yanana, the Shakedown, and what's the last one called? It's the berry one. Oh my gosh. Jam it. So I have all those available on my site also, so you can get those. You can get some of those. I also have like an announcement that I'm gonna be making in the next few weeks. I'm not quite ready yet for the announcement, but it's pretty cool. I'll just say that it's like my first collaboration, as like me and a company, I guess. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
But aside from that, you guys can use the code Mixing It Up if you guys go over there and you want to try any of my flavors. Or like I said, I have all the shakedown, or sorry, all the. I don't know why I'm like fumbling over my words. Probably because there's a million fucking words going through my brain through the Frankentones. Just go over there, use the code Mixing It Up, and check it out. And I think that I'm just gonna say everybody be safe, have a good week, and see.
Wow.
Oh, clown.
Alrighty.
Yeah, Sifu started.
Yeah, Sifu
My
started.
bad.
No, Steve, Sifu, then.
Nice.
It's all good, man.
Oh, that's even worse. That's like even worse for me.
Yeah, as for me, seriously, like I always say every time, check out these gentlemen's fine wares. Steve just released his list, so if you guys are interested, hit him up. Let him know what you're interested in and try them out. Because seriously, the 2 I've tried so far, amazing. So go give those a try. And beyond that, like I said earlier in the show, be kind to people like us. We are out here trying to help and do what we do, but we do still have families and all that kind of stuff. So just be kind. And like I said, as long as communication is open and it hasn't been like 2.5 months and you haven't heard shit, at that point, have at it. I personally don't care. But before that, just at least try to actually communicate. I get it. Like, you expect a 24-hour turnaround and stuff like that, but we're not distros. We don't do that kind of stuff. And even distros take a lot longer than 24 hours sometimes. So, yeah, just be kind. And then go check out on Fresh Show 3's channel. They're doing the show. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know if it's called the Tuesday Takeover anymore, but
Yeah, I don't know what they call it,
Yeah,
but
it's
just go
on
check
in
it out.
about 21 minutes, I think.
Yeah, go check it out. It's got Mr. Advocate for Liberty over there running the show. Mr. I'm never going to get into mixing, and here we are almost like, what, a year and 2 months later?
Yeah, just over a year now. He's like
Yeah.
got multiple shows going on.
Takeover Tuesdays. Takeover Tuesdays.
Takeover Tuesday,
Fresh Show
all right.
3's channel. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, Earn. I don't know if it was like ever up for debate, but I did hear about something that happened in like the Yo-Yo Discord. I think that it was like put to rest. Maybe it wasn't, but it's a peanut butter chocolate cheesecake with toffee bits on top. Like, that's the profile. It's like, I wanted to make like your generic steakhouse cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like over the top cheesecake. It's like those ones that are sweet, and it's peanut butter chocolate cheesecake with toffee bits on top.
There you go.
So I
Alrighty.
think that there was like a confusion because like I'm not allowed to say toffee. So there's like an asterisk offie or something like that. You know what I mean? So like I guess it was confusing for somebody, and they were like, "Oh, it's coffee." I'm like, it's not coffee. If you taste coffee, I mean, that's cool, but there's zero coffee in there.
Yeah. I mean, liquids is an interesting thing because it all goes based on your palate, what you like, what you don't like, and what you taste. Because I'm sure we can get the exact same liquid and probably have like different nuances and stuff. So
You know what? That's another idea. We all mix the same juice and describe it.
now we gotta make sure we have all the same
Same
flavorings.
concentrates, I know, but that's not the point. The point is, it's an idea.
Well,
That's
you know
an
what?
idea.
Here's the deal. I know that I could start, and when I say I could start, I mean this weekend I could make a recipe and that we all have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll make a recipe up this weekend of something that all of us can make. So it might not be that complicated,
It
but
doesn't need to
whatever it is, and we can mix that on Tuesday and we can talk about it.
Okay.
And then someone can take another turn, you know, as we go along. We don't have to do it back-to-back weeks, but we can do it over time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go first. And like I said, I'll make sure that I have it done before the end of the week.
Okay. Yeah.
And
All
you'll
right.
get
Cool.
to see how each person's palate
Yeah.
works.
Mm-hmm. For
You know,
sure.
you'll get an understanding for your fellow showmate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but here's the deal, though. I'll have it finished, but I'm not gonna like. You guys aren't gonna know about it until
Till the day
like,
of.
Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Okay.
No, I might say this is the recipe,
Ooh.
but I'm not gonna say what I was trying for.
Did you see what
Okay.
Brimstone's put?
Yeah, with the same Addy.
Same
Do we
Addy.
all have the same Addy? Does
Well,
everybody
I-
have a nightmare?
I have a nightmare.
I have both.
I
25
have
and
a-
a 28.
Okay, I only have a 25. But does
I got
so,
that.
Tom, do you have the 25?
I have the 25 and the 28.
And Sifu, you have the 25.
I have a 25.
All right.
Okay, well, you know what? Because Adam the one that suggested it, and I know that is one of his
Oh, no.
tops.
Yeah.
On
I
a mech.
don't want to say it's his tops because I know that he's been really digging the
On a
spy
mech.
lately. But like
Nightmare on a mech.
Nightmare on a Mech, that's what's gonna happen.
Dude, I still need to get a
Yeah,
squad.
see, I have one of those too, and it's really good.
What, this thing?
But
Right there?
Yeah.
Squad?
that thing.
oh, Jay, you don't have one, do you?
No, I have the rye.
Does everybody have the rye? Because I have the rye. No.
I sold mine a long time ago.
Okay, Nightmare 25.
Nightmare's valid.
Nightmare 25, have
Nightmare
it
25.
fresh wick, and you're gonna all just consume what I am making because we all can make it. That's gonna be
Sweet.
the goal.
Sounds good.
Well, we said mech, so I don't. Okay, so 0.1 build on a mech, Nightmare 25, and Chris is making the mix.
Yeah, and well, we can't do same COD and Adam because I don't. Well, I guess I could open up Con Bacon Prime, but like I normally sell that shit and I don't use it. But
Nah,
I could.
I wouldn't worry about cotton.
Yeah.
Well, Adam might disagree. But
Oh yeah,
No,
that's true.
if we all vape a 0.1, if we all vape a 0.1 on a mech and we like have it wick nice, I think that we're gonna be good.
Nightmare on Mixing. Anthony, make us that fucking thumbnail, please.
Nightmare on Mixing Street.
Dude,
Make us that
Can I be
thumbnail,
Freddy?
please.
Nightmare
I'll
on
be
Mixing
Freddy.
It Up.
I'll be
Dude, this
Freddy.
is like
That's
an
cool.
event at this point. Holy
Give me
crap.
that melted face. bro.
All right. Last minute. I did add brand new 2022 gear on the Teespring. If you guys want to go check that out,
Yes,
it's got
it
like
is awesome.
all our logos. It's got everything. So go check that out. And I think that is it before I forget anything else. And I'm running out of time anyways. All right. So we'll catch you guys later. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, Vape on Mix on. Bam!